All right, so this is going to be a helping video to help you with the quiz. So if you were absent, this is going to give you some advice as to how to do the quiz and a few tips for each question. So this is just to help you out, all right? All right, so the first thing you want to do is go to modules and then go to Unit 3 and download, enter into the CS Unit quiz and then download this file right here. So you'll click on it and it'll download. I already did it. Here's another one. I've done it 11 times now, but anyway, so I'm going to open it, or I can show it in folder. Now, the only way you can open it on your computer is if you have Scratch on your desktop. So if you're doing this at school, this will work. If you're at home, then you'll need to upload this into the Scratch website. I'll show you that method because it is a little bit harder, not too much though. So if I say show in folder, it's in my downloads, okay? So now that I know it's in my downloads, I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to go to the Scratch website. And you don't even have to sign in. You can just say create. If you sign in, then you can save it. If you plan on finishing the quiz in one sitting, then don't sign in. You can still download it. You might have to hit that and say allow. Okay, so if you don't finish it and you didn't log in, you can still go file and then download to your computer and then re-upload to continue with the quiz. But you're only able to do it on that computer that you were on, okay? All right, so to start out, just file and then say upload from your computer. Go to your downloads and upload it. If you go to date and make it so that you have the most recent thing on top, that will make it so that you can find it easy. And when it says replace the contents, you want to say okay. But if for some reason you opened up your account and you have like your pinball or some other game that you're working on, don't say okay, because it'll replace whatever you're working on. All right, so make sure you just have the cat on there when you do this. All right, as soon as you open it up, it'll have the instructions up here. And so it says the green flag, so I'll do that. Then press the number key associated with the question. So I'll hit the number 1 on my keyboard, and it shows the cat. Now it says right here, for problem 1, using only the blocks given here, have your cat tell me your name when the C key is pressed. Okay, so basically it already has everything you need here. You don't have to find anything, at least for this one. So just drag up the say and then type in your name right there. Okay, so I'll type in Byram. And then to test it, I'll just have to hit the letter C on my keyboard for cat. And it says Byram, boom, that's done. Each question is worth 5 points, so there's a free 5 points for you. To get to question 2, I hit the number 2 on my keyboard, but yet it still has problem 1 over here. The way to get that is to actually click on the problem 2 right here. Okay, that's what happens when you click on this, on the actual, the fish or the butterfly or the dog, it opens the code for that particular item. Okay, so whatever you hit on the keyboard, you have to click on the corresponding, animal or whatever. All right, so this one says using only the given blocks, have your fish draw a closed shape with more than 3 sides. So like a square, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, or whatever. Make sure you put your pen down and then use whatever blocks you need. Now the key, one of the rules is you can only use it one time. Okay, so make sure you use the right combination so you only use each block once. You don't have to use all of them. You can probably get away with just using like 4 of them. Okay, and if you remember the artist from code.org, this should be easy. One thing I would recommend, when you move more than 10 steps, because that's a tiny amount. If I click on this, It shows you how much 10 steps is when the fish moves. So I'd say do like 50 or 100 at least, okay? Anyway, next problem is the butterfly. Now I have to hit the number 3 to go to the actual slide that has that, okay? So both click and use the number on the keyboard. So this one says, when the B key is pressed, have your butterfly point towards the flower and move 10 steps at a time until it first touches the flower. You'll need to use one of the control blocks below, and now it's saying you will also need to select other blocks as appropriate. So now they're expecting you to be able to pull stuff out of over here. Okay, I'll help you a little bit. Okay, so if you read it carefully, it actually tells you what to do. When the B key is pressed, where is that? Right here. Have your butterfly point towards the flower. Where is that? Here's a point towards, but what do we want to point towards? The flower shape, because that's the name of this right here, flower shape. And move 10 steps at a time. Where's move 10? Here's move 10. Until it first touches the flower. Until. There's your keyword right there. That might help you figure out which one of these to use. Okay? Now, touches the flower is, if you're touching something, that's one of your senses. So go to sensing, and you should be able to find a touching that you can put inside of whichever one of these you're using. Okay? Make sure you change it to the flower shape. Now you have to put them together. I'm just helping you out with finding out where to go to get the right ones. Okay, next question. So you can pause that and do that one, or just keep watching and then do it after. So next one is problem 4. I clicked on it, so now what I need to do, hit number 4 on the keyboard. This one says, when the D key is pressed, have your dog move continuously while he is touching the orange, have him stick out his tongue, like that. And then when he's not touching the orange, his tongue needs to go back in. Okay, you should use each of the blocks below and others as needed. So you need all 3 of these, all right? Ignore everything on the right side. Those are just the code that run the quiz. So if you mess with this stuff over here, you might ruin how the quiz works. So don't mess with them. So you need all 3 of these, and you need other things. So when the D key is pressed, again, there it is. Have your dog move continuously. So how do you move continuously? If you remember your pinball, you're gonna continuously is the same thing as saying forever. Okay, and then you can just move. All right. So if you forever move, when you hit the letter D, he's just going to move, but he's going to run off the screen. So then you might need something like if on edge bounce. That's why they put that there. It's kind of a hint. Okay. But now you need to add the rest of the code to make it so that whenever he's touching the orange, his tongue needs to be out. All right. You're going to need one of these control blocks to do that. And you're going to need to be sensing something. All right. That's enough hints for that one. Next one is the elephant. So I hit the number 5 on the keyboard. Here's the elephant. This one says, create a variable and set it to 0. In a forever loop, have the variable count upwards until it reaches 100. When it reaches 100, it should reset back to 0, and then use this variable to change an effect. Have the elephant say the value of this variable and use any of the blocks provided and others as needed. So you'll use some of these, but not all of them. These are hints down here. Creating a variable, if you forgot how to do that, you go to data and you say make a variable. It doesn't tell you what to call it because it's counting. I would call it count. I gotta click in there. Count. And if you say for this sprite only, then it won't mess with any of the other questions. So there it is, and it shows it at 0 right now. So how do you change that? Well, right here, change. And it's already set to count. You could do speed or count, but we want count. All right, so if I change count by 1, but you got to go until it reaches 100. Well, here's something that says until. Okay, so again, there's lots of little hints in the instructions. You must read them. Okay, here's this. You can drag count out, and you can put numbers inside of there. Okay, so hopefully that's enough to kind of tell you how to do this. All right, the effect also you should put count into there, so that whatever the elephant is counting, it's also making it that effect. You can change it so he's changing his color, fisheye whirl, any of that stuff. Okay, so you'll see the elephant counting up, and as he's counting up, he's changing. The next one, problem 6. I have to hit the letter 6, not the letter, but number 6 on the keyboard. Now this one is super easy if you look at the instructions. Okay, a lot of people do it wrong. They use an operator and they say A equal to mouse X like this. That's not right. You want to say set A to mouse X. That's what this means right here. Right here. Okay, so that's A to mouse X, then you want B to mouse Y, then you want C to the square root, and they already give you a square root, to A times A plus B times B. You don't have enough operators in here, so you're going to need to drag over a plus and 2 times to create this equation. And to get more of these letters, you can go to data and drag them out, or you can right click and say duplicate. That should help you with that one. So when you're done, when you move your mouse around the screen, this crosshair should say how far away you are in a straight line from the center. All right, the last one. Problem 7, hit number 7 on the keyboard. Now we want the penguin to sing a song in this one. Here is what the song should be. Okay, this is what your function should be, because it says here to make a function block. To do that, you go to more blocks and say make a block. What does it say to call it? Bus. So I'll say bus. And it says to have 2 string variables. So go to options, add in 2 of them. I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint here. So part and action are in parentheses there. So let's call this one part and this one action. Right? This comes here. Okay. Now you're going to need more than what they give you here to sing this whole song. If you right click and duplicate, you'll have enough stuff here, because this right here is the same as this block, and this right here is also the same thing, so you're going to need it twice. All right, another thing that I would recommend is having a weight like 0.1 in between each line. So if I duplicate that, I put it there, and I put this here, and I put the, let me write, if I put that in here and then this in here. Okay, so what would this do right here? I drag over bus, so when P is pressed, it's going to say run bus, and bus is right here. But it's asking for 2 things. And so if I put part here and action here, whatever I put here, so if I put 16 there and I put 24 there, when I say P on the keyboard, it says the 16 on the bus go 24. All right, and you could put whatever you want in here. So if I put 12 and then I hit the letter P. 12 on the bus go 24. Now that's not what we really want. We want the wheels on the bus go round and round. So if I say wheels, and I say round and round, and I hit the letter P, it says the wheels on the bus go round and round. Okay, now because these are blank here and here, it's doing nothing. So if I put, again, 12, 12, 12, sorry, don't do that. If I put part, it would say 12, but if I put part there, let me do 12 on this one, or 132, yay. Letter P, the wheels on the bus go round and round, wheels, 132. That's not what we want, right? Instead of part, what should it be? Action. Okay, so if I hit the letter P, wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, 132, no, action. All right, letter P, wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. I've done this much of the song for you. You need to do the rest of the song, and you need to do all 4 verses. So you're gonna need more of these. All right, that's probably more than you need as far as help, but there you go. So there's everything you need to do the quiz. Just make sure you finish it, and then when you're done, go File, and then say Download to your computer, and you'll download it. Remember where you save it, and then you'll come back to the quiz. You'll say Submit Assignment. You choose the file, and then you'll find the one that you downloaded. Okay? And that should be everything. So good luck, and I will grade it and hopefully you do good. The quiz itself is worth 35 points. Each question is 5 points. At least try everything. If you don't try something, then you lose all 5 points. If you try it, then you at least get something. Okay, and that shall be all.